ソニックパワード。
Rubenhot is a small country surrounded by nature. This country has always been ruled by peace-loving queens. Its towns and villages overflow with energy and prosper like none before them. Some attribute this to the queens, while others point to the serenity of the region as the cause. However, this country has a dark secret. Long ago, the Dimensional Abyss was created to seal away all the evil in the world. In order to manage that parallel dimension, the Saint of Light created a magic crystal. This crystal was called the Abyss Gate. The country of Rubenhot was founded in order to monitor the Abyss Gate. But time passed. The seal was broken. And monsters began to pour through the gate to attack Rubenhot. The army accustomed to peace didn't know how to retaliate. Facing a grim fate, the Queen made a decision. To stand up against the great forces of evil. It is said that he who defeats the forces of evil shall have bestowed on him a priceless treasure. As the forces of evil grow in power, another adventurer arrives in Rubenhot. Hello! Welcome to my next Let's Play. This is From the Abyss. This is my first DS game. Not really entirely sure what I should do with the layout for a DS game, but this is what I decided is the most, I don't know, the best I could do. The screen with the most going on will be kind of front and center, although, you know, slightly to the side. And then both screens will be on the side. I could go back and forth between screens for focus, but I would prefer not to have to. So we'll see how I end up playing games with on DS with this setup. Anyways, played this game a long time ago. It was one of the first games I got on my DS. I actually replayed it early this year as of time of recording. But it has also been a while since then, and I've also Let's Played and played on my own a bunch of games since then, so I don't remember a whole lot. So we're going to start a new game. Alright, we got a character to select. This is just visual, this doesn't matter. This is not like a unique character. I did not know they did this. Well, who should I pick? I think I'm just going to hold down the button, and whichever one I land on when I press A will be who I go with. Okay, and we get a color. Same thing. I'll just pick a color at random. Your journey is about to begin, but before it does, please answer some questions about yourself. Question 1. Right now, you are walking through a deep forest on your way to Rubenhot in order to suppress the monsters that have been disturbing the peace in the area. It is said a great reward awaits anyone who can end the monster threat. What has brought you to Rubenhot? Also, yes, the font looks this messed up with the W and M on real hardware. I don't know why. The bottom screen, that font there looks fine. I don't know why they have a different font for everything else. Anyways, unimportant. So what brought us to Rubenhot? We sort of get a starting class with this, but I don't know overall what this actually changes. I think it only changes starting stats. I think we always start with the same equipment, which really sucks if you want to go with magic, and I'll get into that once we actually get into the game. Justice, I guess? Question 2. You left behind your hometown when you began your journey to Rubenhot. Where did you live? Hill overlooking ocean, mountain village, prosperous city, or it's a secret? You know what? It's a secret. Question 3. On your way to Rubenhot, you discover a gravely wounded adventurer. He is weakened and cannot move on his own. He asks you, please, can you give me some water? You don't have much water left. What do you do? I give him water. I don't give him water. I take his belongings. Just mug this injured man. Let's give him water. Question 4. You have nearly reached Rubenhot, but there is a large lake in front of you, and Rubenhot is on the other side. It is possible to take the road around the lake, however that will take a long time. What do? I look for a ship, I swim across. I take the road, I have no idea. You know what, let's look for a ship. Question 5. Overcoming several obstacles, you finally reach the gates of Rubenhot. A signature is required to enter the country. What is your name? Alright, we'll go with the name I usually go with here, when I make a character on my Let's Plays. Let's can use the touchscreen. As you can see, it is pointing to it, and I don't... You can't see the stylus or anything like that, but the only thing that actually requires it is the menu. So we'll be fine with me using the controls for everything else. Alright, Rubenhot Castle in audience with the Queen. You are going to aid us in defeating the demons? The demons' attacks are numerous. Every day more men are lost in this meaningless struggle. We have held them off at the lower castle gates, but I doubt we can keep them at bay for long. If we continue like this, we will eventually run out of resources. And the monsters will. That is something I must prevent, even if it costs me my life. The evil within the labyrinth grows stronger by the day. When that evil force has regained all of its strength, that will be the day my country falls. Before that happens, we must defeat all the demons. And you are the only one who can do that. I will give you this skill. Obtained Soul Capture. I will explain this in a bit. We'll be using this kind of a lot early, but not so much later. That skill allows you to drain skills from enemies. This is all I can do, but I want to do everything I can to help. Please find your way through the labyrinth beyond the Abyss Gate and defeat the evil within, so that our country may someday return to the peace and happiness it once knew. Alright, now we got a town to explore. We got the Abyss Gate. This is the Abyss Gate. From here you can teleport to the dimension where monsters spawn. Venturer's Inn. This is the Venturer's Inn. Record your progress and store items and skills here. I'm pretty sure this is 3. Whelm's General Store. You can purchase items you need and sell items you don't. This is Pathorn Plaza. There are many citizens gathered here. Perhaps some have information you can use. The Abyss Information Center. They will give you information about your quest. If you get stuck, you should stop by. And this is Rubenhot Castle. You have been granted an audience with the Queen. Report to her after defeating the monsters. Let's go right back in here. I think she tells us to go to the Information Center. Have you gone to the Abyss Information Center? Yes, she does. There you will find soldiers who have returned from the Abyss. It might be best to hear their advice before proceeding to the Abyss. One of them has a lot of helpful information, but the battle in the Abyss has left him without some of his wits. What? Well then, good luck. We'll pop in here, but I'm not going to read all the stuff here. This is all tutorial stuff. This is the information desk. All the demons that are in the labyrinth are going to be stronger than you think. That's why I want you to learn the basics of combat here, before you leave for your adventure. Now, choose the areas you want explained. How to move. Yeah, that's valuable information to know. Dungeon survival about items, equipment, skills, soul capture, trash icon, status, level up. We get points when we level, and we spend them how we want. I'm going to let him explain soul capture so I don't have to. That's about it. That's all I'm going to do here. This is really basic stuff, and I don't feel like reading all of this in the first part. It would be nothing but reading. I would like to actually show the dungeon, because there's stuff I want to talk about there too. Soul Capture is a special skill that lets you absorb skills from demons. Using the skill will consume 1/10 of your maximum SP. For example, if your maximum SP is 100, then it will consume 10 SP, right? Then that means that if your maximum SP is 1000, it will consume 100 SP. However, you can get some very powerful skills this way. Try to utilize your skills wisely. Okay, next I'm going to tell you how to use the Soul Capture. Keep a short distance away from your target demon and use the Soul Capture skill. The energy is fired and locks onto the target, beginning the capture process. However, the demon will try to fight it off. I don't think he actually explains it, but the actual gauge, the orange there, that is the enemy. You actually want to get the gauge to go all black. I don't know why. I feel like the other way would have made more sense. This really confused me when I played it last. You mash the button to make it to fight off the enemy, but the gauge keeps going up on the stronger enemies, and then you fail. It's like, what am I doing wrong? It's because that the actual color is the enemy's strength. Okay, the gauge displayed under the demon shows its resistance. So when the resistance gauge is displayed, press the button you set your soul capture skill to rapidly. Hit, and hit that button. Pant, you got it. You just have to hit that button if you want to win the demon's soul. If the demon's gauge empties, then the soul capture was a success. When that happens, a new skill is created from the demon and placed in your skill inventory. If you already have the skill and use the soul capture on the demon, then you can recover some HP. The number of times you will have to press the button will vary depending on the demon's remaining HP and your level. So the best time to use soul capture is after you have damaged a demon significantly. This will increase the success rate of your soul capture attempts. Alright. Another thing he doesn't say is the health that you recover if you already have the skill is based on how much health the enemy has left. So, to use this as a heal, which is the only heal we have besides potions early on, we want to use it on a stronger enemy, which is counter to what he just said to use it on. But anyways, go to the plaza. There's some people to talk to here. Alright, let's talk to Tony first. I think they have two different things to say. They have an introduction thing and then like a general this point of the plot thing to say. So we'll talk to them twice. I think I'll go down the line and then go down the line again. Maybe I'll just talk to him twice, back to back. Anyways, talk to Tony. So you're the new adventurer. I was wondering what kind of tough-looking guy you'd be, but you're pretty normal. Well, can't judge a book by its cover. You're okay, right? We're pretty worried right now. The Queen's hiring a lot of adventurers, but no one's been able to go deep into the labyrinth. If the evil keeps getting stronger, what's going to happen to this town? You're still here? You need to go to the labyrinth and beat up those monsters for us. We have high hopes for you. Alright, let's talk to Daisy. Hello, so you're the adventurer Granny Resmeta was talking about. Granny Resmeta knows everything because she can read the future. Well, that's what she said. My brother said she's right, but I wonder. What, my brother? My brother is a soldier. He's in the dimensional labyrinth fighting lots and lots of demons right now. He, my brother is the strongest. He's probably going to defeat the evilest demon of them all. No offense to you, but as long as my brother's there, you won't be needed. Alright, talk to her again. Hey, did you give up on the dimensional labyrinth? That makes sense. You won't be needed as long as my brother's there. This girl. Okay, let's talk to Gamel. Gamel? Hey, not another ignorant fool who doesn't value his life. Geez, the Queen should look at people before she hires them. This is the most sinister-looking man I have ever seen. I don't know what he's talking about. What could you possibly... Hey, what's with those eyes? You don't like what I got to say about you? Well, at least you've got pride. Sorry, my name's Gamel. I'm a soldier here, but the Queen isn't giving us permission to attack. I'm a little frustrated. Letting the monsters have their way and not retaliating. Damn, I want to go to the labyrinth too. What are you still doing around here? Hey, if you don't want to go, let me go instead. My job's pretty easy, you know. What do you mean, don't be so uptight? Hey, don't run away, hey! Okay, let's talk to Phinia. Oh, nice to meet you. My name's Phinia. I sell flowers here at Path1 Plaza. But unfortunately, I haven't had many flowers to sell lately. The flowers in the mountains have been affected by the evil and are poisoned. Also, demons have begun showing up in the mountains, so there's a risk of being attacked. What should I do? At this rate, there will be nothing left for me to do. Talk to her again. Oh, hello. Do you think you could hurry up and defeat the demons? At this rate, there will be nothing left for me to do. Sigh. If I could just go to the mountains, I'll feel at ease. Double? I'll probably be mispronouncing, or pronouncing Gamel and Double differently every time I play. Adventurer, my name is Double. I'd say Meta and I have lived the longest in this kingdom, which is why we have knowledge that you youngins don't. If you ever need some information, feel free to stop by, if I can remember it. That's super useful, Kai. That's so useful. Huh? I remember it. What was it you wanted to ask me? Nothing? Alright, let's talk to Resmeta. I think she gives hints on bosses at different points. Maybe? Oh, so you're the new adventurer. How did I know? Easy, I'm Ruben Hot's fortune teller. You don't know about astrology? Astrology is the art of reading the movements of the stars and telling one's fortune. That's why we knew what was going to happen to the kingdom before it happened. However, I cannot see the outcome of the battle because the Abyss Lord is blocking my sight. I'm sorry, but I can only tell your near future. If that's all you need, come to me. I had something I wanted to tell you. There are great obstacles awaiting you where you are about to venture. I don't know what they are yet, but I doubt you can overcome them easily. However, this is nothing more than a reading. I'm sure with enough determination you can overcome any obstacle. I'll leave this kingdom's future in your hands. Okay. Let's go to the general store. Hey, welcome. This is Whelm's General Store. Whelm's my name, of course. I shouldn't use my name as the store's name? Well, that's up to me now, isn't it? It's been my dream to own my own store. Geez, the tools you need for your quests can only be found here, you know. You're gonna be a regular in no time, so could you show a little more respect? And what do you want today? I don't think there's anything I want to buy, although I could buy a copper sword. I don't have a whole lot of money. I believe the enemies do not drop money directly, but they will drop stuff that we can sell. So we got swords that are pretty basic. Yeah, so I already have the Adventurer's Sword because it's not showing any change to my stats. Axes are slow and very powerful. Like the Iron Axe is plus 11 to what I got, and the Iron Blade is only plus 6. But they are very slow. There's a lot of delay between your attacks. Spears I don't particularly like. I think they have a combo, but they only attack straight ahead from what I remember. Bows are kind of the same way. They have range, but they're also really slow. Rods, stabs, whatever. These are super, super slow. You're not meant to ever physically attack with them. These are just for the magic power. I'm not going to buy any, but once I pick some up in the dungeon, I will show how they work. So, we'll see when I get to those. Armor. Can either get leather clothes or the copper sword. We'll not get this accessory for a while. Items. The Saint statue, I'm pretty sure we get one of these for free, but these are your return to town. It even says down there, teleports you out of the abyss. Unlike some other games, these do not let you go back immediately where you were, but that's not that big of a deal in this game. Skills. Skills are exceptionally expensive. We will want rest as soon as we can get it. But yeah, this is why magic is so bad in this. I don't know if there's a series of answers to the questions that will get you to start with magic, but you don't get magic until like the second floor of the abyss, and otherwise it's very, very expensive. So I suppose if you were grinding up money, you could get it. I also do not know why you can buy soul capture. There is a storage in the inn. We'll go there next. But if you store a skill in the inn, and you try to absorb that skill again from an enemy, it will still heal you. It will not give you a second copy of that skill. so I don't know why you could get soul capture here. You can throw away skills, I guess, so that would be the only reason I can think of to buy it again. Oh yeah, if you find something interesting in the labyrinth, let me know, because it may be some treasure you normally couldn't get. I might buy the copper sword. Alright, let's go to the Adventurer's Inn. Welcome to the Adventurer's Inn. Giggle, so you're... I'm not gonna giggle. Giggle, so you're the one who's here to suppress the forces of evil? This inn is for travelers like you. Of course, I don't go through the trouble of collecting dues, so feel at home. You're wondering why you don't need to pay? You're silly. After making you guys put yourselves in danger, we can't take money from you. Instead, it's your duty to make sure that those demons die. Yeah, I went off on a tangent there. You're probably going to be using the recording function the most here. The diary keeps track of all your progress. I think it's called save or something like that in another world. Way to break the fourth wall. An adventurer like you never knows when you'll be put in danger, right? So I recommend saving your progress regularly. And you can also leave your items or skills here. Oh yeah, if someone gives you an item and your bags are full, you can find it here. This is a little misleading. This applies only to someone here in town handing you an item, which is super rare. The way I first understood this is if you have a full inventory and you pick up something else, it'll automatically go here. That's not how it works. It only applies to here in town. I don't know why I didn't wrap my head around that for whatever reason, because it's literally what she says. Don't forget to pick it up. You'll pick up on stuff you're not too sure about. What can I do for you today? So we can deposit, remove, save. We're going to save. We have nothing to deposit, nothing to remove. Don't push yourself too hard. Alright. We're going to go into the menu before I jump into the abyss. I'm going to explain some stuff here. We have the item. We have 4 pages. We have our equipment. We'll select. We can see the stats on the equipment. I believe... I'll talk about the defense when I get to the status page. We have skills. Let's go ahead and equip that. We have a map. This means nothing here. I'll show this when I get into the dungeon. You can see at the bottom we have a blue circle is the return, green circle is next, and a red dot is the player. We have status. I'm probably going to run around with map or status open the most, but probably map. Anyways, yeah, you can see we have no stat points. I forget how much we get per level. I will probably be building up agility and luck as early as I can. Luck affects the item drop rate, and since enemies do not drop money, this is how you get money. And agility, I don't know quite how it affects your attack speed, but it does affect your attack speed. Alright, and then we have the ELD over here on the left, and those are triangles. I'm pretty sure the triangle means neutral. If there's an X, that means you're weak to it. If there's a circle, that means you're strong to it. That'll only be affected by equipment, and the ELA is your elemental attack. We have fire, water, wind, earth. Yeah, I think that's all I have to talk about here. Yeah, there's a trash icon down here, and I assume we can just throw away soul capture, and that's the only reason we can rebuy it, because you otherwise can't get skills unless you buy them. Okay, running out of time here, and I would like to actually show off some of the dungeon. Let's go to the abyss. Let's go ahead and buy the copper sword. I think I'm just going to go ahead and do that. We actually cannot open the inventory while in the shop. So let me equip this. I think you can... Yeah, you can just double tap it to equip it. I think other weapons will look differently, but these look the same, which is a little unfortunate. Because one tap selects it, and the next tap equips it. So if you get multi-taps in there, you'll re-equip the thing you just removed. Anyways, let's get rid of the sword and then go into the dungeon. Not worth a whole lot, but it's not that big of a deal. Money will be a problem only for, like, the first part of the dungeon. It's not going to be much of a problem later on, especially once we get luck up. Anyways, let's go to the Abyss Gate. So you're the new adventurer. Well, I've been commanded to explain some of the things you'll find around the castle. So listen carefully. This big door is the Abyss Gate. It's a mysterious door that connects you with the other dimension. I heard that the Queen's ancestors created it when they sealed off the demons. But honestly, I don't know. All I know is that beyond here is a dungeon, and it's a space connected to many kinds of worlds. Well, and the other thing I know is that the chance of you coming home alive is slim. But that's all dependent on how talented you are, so it doesn't really matter to me. Are you saying I'm mean? But it's true. I didn't ask for this, you know. Well, I'll feel a little uneasy if you don't come back, so take this with you. Obtained a potion. Obtained Saint statue. Potions are medicines that will recover your life. I think there's nothing weird in it, but we're talking about Whelm here. The Saint statue is an escape item. You can use it to escape from the dimensional labyrinth. It's perfect for a wuss like you, right? And what else? Oh yeah, you know what a parallel world is, right? Well, this dimensional labyrinth is exactly that. Even if you beat a demon, it doesn't mean it applies in other dimensions. I guess it's called a parallel world. Did you say there is no point in beating them? That's not true. Beating demons does contribute to a favorable outcome. And plus, at the end, all these parallel worlds must lead to one supreme demon. Well, don't think too hard about it. Just follow the path you think is right. Well, I'm done with my explanation. Do you have any questions? My name? I'll tell you my name if you can come back safely. What's the point in telling you if you're not going to come back? So just come back safe and sound, okay? So what are you going to do now? Right, yeah, this also has multiplayer, but I never knew anyone who had this game, besides me, so I don't know how that works. Let's go to single player. Which world are you challenging today? This one. Stage 1. So despite the statue, you don't need to use a statue to leave. All we have to do is go back in this portal and we'll leave. Alright, so let's get out the return and next rooms. Will never have enemies. Ever. We get a little combo with the sword. Dominator. Okay, it's a sword skill. I remember using this a lot. I think it's thick. Okay, yeah, I'm not getting that. Only need a few more levels. Another thing to note here at the top, right in the middle, I don't know why, for the longest time I thought that was a clock. That is not. That is the current room shape. So that means we have an exit on the north, east, and west. Let's go east first. Another thing I'm going to try to do in this, you can really make the game a joke. If you, it's not even really grinding. All you have to do is just, every time you go through a room and then back through that same room, like if I go find a dead end, and then I need to go back, just clear the room again, that's all you need to do, and you'll overwhelm bosses. Even the final boss. I'm going to try not to do that as much as I can. Because I'd like this to actually be interesting to watch, and not just kind of breezing through the game. Alright, now we get a level, so we get 4 points per level. Go ahead and do that. Is that going to be enough to be able to absorb from the plant? Or just miss every single swing? Hey, I got him. Crush Hammer. Because this is an axe ability. So I can't use that unless I have an axe. Probably store that. If I'd actually gotten a good axe early on, I might really like axes. But I get so used to just the swing and the combo of the sword that I just can't switch. So yeah, if there's a series of answers to those questions that would actually give me different starting gear, and as far as I can tell, there isn't any. But if there is, then I wouldn't mind starting with a different weapon, trying that out, but I don't feel like trying it once I've already gotten used to the sword. Also, I just don't like the spheres. They are kind of slow and very specific area that they hit. Also, we're at a dead end. Usually there'll be treasure at dead ends. Also at times, so I'm going to head back towards town. I'm not going to waste a statue. But yeah, usually there'll be treasure in here. It will actually show up as a chest. We haven't gotten a single item from enemies, but they drop a different thing depending on the item. But the items you pick up just in the dungeon, which will only be in the dead ends, those will always be in chests no matter the item type. If it's a consumable item, it'll be in a white bag. If it's a material, which is just junk to sell, there's no crafting this, then it will be in a brown bag, and if it's equipment, it will be in a chest, always, as far as I know. Here I said I wasn't going to kill everything as I'm going back through rooms, and I'm doing it. Ow. Oh, there we go. There's an item. Yeah, a white bag. We got a potion. It'll always be those same icons as far as I remember. These dungeons are also random, but not each time you enter them. We will still get this exact same layout every single time I come to the first floor or the first abyss. It is random on, I don't know, character creation, whenever you load into the game. So if I started a new save, this floor would be different. Alright. Let's go ahead and save. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and store that skill. Or not. It honestly doesn't matter. I don't know that I've ever gotten close to max skills throughout the whole game, but I think you probably can. But anyways, go ahead and save. And that's it. We will continue on into the dungeon. We actually may finish the first abyss next time. It's kind of short, but that's not going to last. This isn't an overly long game, but the dungeons themselves do get longer. This doesn't have too much story to it, but there is some story, and it does get a little dark. Yeah, anyways, we will pick up from here next time. But that's it for this part. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you stick around for more, and thanks for watching.